I asked for the moon to get through to you, to hear you say you'll be mine.
Casey's, famous for pizza.
Thank you for having us. My name is Caitlin Brandt, and I'm part of the audit team here from the Generals, along with my co-workers, Susie Fernandez, Nora Golden, Emma Dyer, and Stella Yee. And first off, we just want to thank you for having us these past couple of weeks. Your staff and yourself has been nothing but helpful, and we've really enjoyed our audit here. So we have spent our time here at Casey's General Store really just testing the internal controls and performing procedures over the numbers reported on the 2017 financial statements. And this is because we designed the purpose of our audit to provide reasonable assurance over the effectiveness of internal controls and also the accuracy of the financial statements that are reported. So today we're going to lay out our scope of the audit, how that affects our audit strategy, and then also go over the results of our completed audit and how that leads to our opinion. So with that, I'll give it to Emma.
In regards to the strategy, the scope of the audit was determined based on Casey General Store's size of operations and how those affect the internal controls and financial reporting measures. Since the company operates in a highly regulated industry in both fuel and food sales, the company is high in inherent risk. The industries are heavily regulated by government entities, and the company is required to be in compliance with several rules to be allowed to operate. These include storage, transportation, and distribution of gasoline, commodity for fuel sales, and the storage, preparation, expiration, and disposal of foods for food operations. The company also chooses to value gasoline using the first in, first out method known as FIFO, while electing to value merchandise using the last in, first out method, LIFO. With the price of gasoline being highly volatile, some focus should be taken on the valuation of inventory. The company is also required to repair the land after the use, and the cost should be evaluated for each location upon acquisition. The audit had some focus on the company's compliance with regulation and ensure the inherent risk factors are mitigated by the proper controls. Ratio analysis of the company in comparison to a competitor with similar operation has found that while most ratios were within 1 to 2% of the competitor, the company greatly exceeded them on returns on assets, gross profit margin, and operating cash flow. However, the company's profit margin is shown to be incredibly close to its competitor, giving the indication that the company's cost of goods sold is much lower in percentage of sales than its competitor. In regards to business objectives, the company both met and exceeded their sales goals in their 3 identified sectors. This placed a focus on analyzing the revenue accounts, as there is an incentive to overstate earnings. I will now hand over to Nora so she can explain the rest of the strategy.
Thanks, Emma. Another important part of our audit strategy was determining materiality for the financial statements in order to provide reasonable assurance over our audit opinion in an effective manner. Casey's gross profit margin exceeds competitors by 10%, while their profit margin is about 2% lower than industry standard. Ultimately, we determined materiality by using a percentage of net income to best align with the industry standard. Within the guidelines of the PCAOB, our audit strategy also includes assessing the effectiveness of the company's internal controls. Ultimately, management of Casey's is responsible for establishing and maintaining adequate internal controls over financial reporting, and we have tested some of their control assertions. We have evaluated Casey's established financial code of ethics. Employees are trained and encouraged to promptly bring to the attention of the audit committee any information they may have concerning significant deficiencies in the design or operation of internal controls that could adversely affect the company's financial reporting. Employees are also trained and encouraged to report fraud in the same manner. We also evaluated the internal controls put in place by Casey's Risk Committee Charter, which includes guidelines on controls over security, vendor management, business continuity, disaster relief, and capital expenditures. While testing security, we focused on the internal controls for access and authorization of the recently implemented IT system. Ultimately, we did not discover any material weaknesses in the company's internal controls over financial reporting. This wraps up our audit strategy. Stella will move forward with the audit results of her financial reporting.
Thank you, Nora. So we have conducted our audits in accordance with the PCAOB standards. We noticed that Casey's General Store have always recorded the inventory of fuel using a LIFO method, similar to their recording of merchandise and food products. However, for the month of November and December, fuel has been recorded using a FIFO method. This has resulted in an incorrect ending inventory as well as cost of goods sold. This has been corrected, and the correct values are now reflected in the year-end's net income. We believe that this was a one-time error and was a result of unintentional oversight in the inventory recording process. The management has agreed to reevaluate the inventory recording processes so that they may catch minor but significant errors like these. We noted the estimates used in the valuation of expanding into Ohio as insufficient. For each city that was involved, traffic count played a large portion of the valuation. And while there is a large correlation between traffic and the need to purchase gas, a further analysis is needed on the surrounding properties. As a company will want to expand and to stay in business long into the future, locations picked in Ohio has to be a high traffic and growing area. Some key criteria that can help ensure stability and growing profits are the existence of residences, schools, hospitals, and businesses. We have suggested this to the management, and they have agreed to omit mentions of expanding into Ohio until further results could be determined. This is to avoid any misdirection in your financial reporting. I'll hand it over to Susie.
Thank you. In regards to the change of inventory accounting in the month of November, where LIFO was used as opposed to FIFO, which you had been doing the rest of the year, the correct changes were made in a timely manner, and there is no longer an error in the inventory records, which corrected cost of goods sold and your ending net income. We discovered that your revenue included the purchase of gift cards instead of gift card transactions. The appropriate changes were made, and Casey's finance team was able to correct the error, and revenue was adjusted in a timely manner. Our auditing team determined that the value at life of fuel and storage tanks, as well as old buildings, was lower than what Casey Generals had listed. You are valuing your buildings and tanks higher than we agree with. Casey's did not change their valuation of buildings or fuel tanks, but when our audit team calculated the difference, we decided that the amount was not significant, and therefore we did not have a reason to believe that this would result in a misstatement. In our opinion, your consolidated financial statements referred to above fairly presented with material respect the financial position of your company and subsidiaries as of April 30th, 2017. You are in conformity with the U.S. generally accepted accounting principles. Also, in our opinion, you have maintained effective internal controls over financial reporting as of April 30th, 2017. Based on the criteria established in internal control, the integrated framework issued in 2013 by the Committee of Sponsoring Organizations on the Treadway Commission. We have given Casey's General Store an unqualified opinion. Thank you for your time, dedication, and hospitality. Please let us know if you have any further questions.